Hi, I'm Sammy. Welcome to See Blissfully Lit podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here today. And on this lovely first day of July, oops, it's the second day, actually. Second day of July, 2025. I planned on talking about meditation on twin hearts and its benefits, which are astounding and frankly incredible. This meditation changed my life at a time that my life was really, really, really hard for me. And I was very deeply identified with the emotions I was feeling and the experiences that I was going through. And this meditation really helped me to find peace. And it helped me to stop having panic attacks and being stressed out and to regulate my emotions. It's a heart-centered meditation that was founded by Grandmaster Choa, and you can buy nearly any of his books. And there's information about meditation on twin hearts, pranic healing in his books. Um, but the beauty of this meditation is it focuses on opening your heart center and your crown center. So your heart center is in the center of your chest, your crown center is the top of your head, and it's a loving kindness meditation where you really focus on those you love and sending that loving energy through your body, not from you. You're not sending your own energy. You're being a conduit, you're being a facilitator of energy. You're sending that energy through to bless others. And it's a form of compassion. And it's also like taking an energetic shower. Um, as you do this practice, as you do meditation on twin hearts, that divine energy flows through your body and it flushes your system, it flushes your meridians, your chakras, your energy centers, and it clears the way for a fresh start. I guess you could say it's like hitting the refresh button. um yeah, that's how I would describe it. But it always leaves me in a clearer state of mind, as do all the meditations that I practice. Practicing our Hatha yoga, we have some other meditations that we also practice. And we have character building, which you wouldn't think too much about character building, like, oh yeah, we're golden rule, we're nice to each other. Like everyone knows that, right? But when you start really reflecting on your actions, your thoughts, your behaviors, you get to know yourself on a deeper level. You get to know your subconscious and your conscious mind and really understand how different patterns of behavior were formed. And in doing that character building, I've come to know some different character traits and patterns that perhaps were coping mechanisms as a child. And we all have different childhood experiences. In psychology, they talk about nature versus nurture. And, everyone's upbringing is so different. Even within the same household, two different children can be completely different. And it's pretty amazing to start to understand the character that is behind the amazing being that you are. So I say I was going to talk about meditation on Twin Hearts, but it's really just a precursor to talking more about character development. Because I decided to take a look at a Reichian Therapy book today. And, I like to open books just to whatever page I need to hear about that day. And earlier I opened to a different page, but this afternoon we are here, and it's quite interesting. It mentions that different people characteristically employ different coping mechanisms. Even within the same person, mood can change prevalence of observed use of coping mechanisms. And what the author is claiming, which the author is Jack Willis, Dr. Jack Willis, that Reichian therapy precedes that one can measure the change of character by the change in the use of coping mechanisms. So there are different coping mechanisms that can be typically used. And some of these might be familiar. One is projection. Projection is to place your own state into another person. And this state is ideas, opinions, moods, desires, intentions, feelings, expectations, intentions, or in general, any other mental content. And those of you familiar with energetic work, we all have an interconnectedness and we have connections. And this can, in some ways, be more literal than figurative. Introjection is to take a perceived or imagined or hypothesized aspect of another person and put it into yourself. So having empathy, you, in a way, assume that a person's feeling a certain way in a situation. You don't really know. The way that person reacts in that situation is based on their own perception of the situation. And these are all coping mechanisms, formed in childhood as a way to find safety, depending on the environment and the people and the different types of character that they had and how they treated you. There's another reaction formation where one converts something into its opposite. Lifestyle repetition compulsion. And it's one that actually has an exact definition. Any condition that has been experienced for an extended period of time comes to be regarded as natural, the normal, the to be expected. And in this section, they give an example of a woman named Betty. And when she was a child, her likes and her dislikes were always ignored. And she came to regard her own desires of no consequence because of the way her parents treated her. And as an adult, she would display an indifference for her clothes and not have very much preference in food or any choices in general. And she was very passive. And this was just out of, having a desire and expressing it, but it not being acknowledged. So that was lifestyle repetition compulsion. So she got used to pretty much being ignored when she had specific preferences. So she just stopped having preferences. And incident repetition compulsion is repeating an incident wherein you as a child did not get the desired result. So let's say Mark liked to play baseball. He wasn't generally that good at it, but it didn't stop him from enjoying it. Then there was this one play, that one time that he caught the ball, and he thought no one would have ever guessed he could do it. He expected everyone to be impressed by his special accomplishment. And all he got was, oh, hey, good catch. So thereafter, he felt like he wasn't that good at it because of that external influence and replayed the incident in his mind. And he turned to other activities. And as far as his parents knew, he just lost interest in baseball. But baseball was just the setting for that incident, and it was a plot of his life's novel. And the story he told himself is that you do things that other people expect can't be done, and you don't get the recognition for it. It's quite intriguing. These are just a few. Um, but I was very intrigued by this topic, and I wanted to share it because I found myself relating to some of this, especially in working on my character, working on, just generally being a good person, but also in the last few years, finding myself in my own power. Because I oftentimes, like Betty mentioned in the book, had no preference in situations, or seemingly had no preference because it was easier for me to fit into a box for other people than to rock the boat, per se. How do I elaborate on this? I oftentimes would, right words for this. I found it easier to just go along with what other people wanted instead of facing discomfort in other people's reactions, because I was faced with more expressive reactions some of the time, and it felt safer to, instead of speaking up and being my authentic self and like wanting to have fun and um, enjoy my desires, I conformed into what I thought that person wanted. So they wouldn't react in a form that I had seen growing up. And it was to protect myself. And really, there's nothing wrong with any of these coping mechanisms. There's nothing wrong with the type of character that you have. All these practices are tools. And what I've come to realize is we have these great tools to thrive and discover the essence of who we really are. And it's not to fix something because nothing's wrong. I assure you, nothing's wrong. This is exactly how you were meant to be. And these amazing tools are out here. So we can utilize them and be our authentic selves. And I know I've mentioned that that's kind of the goal of this podcast, is to embrace authenticity. And that's why it's like not perfect, and who cares what's in the background, right? So in saying this, it's just there's so many different options out there to regulate and find different types of coping and thrive. Everyone has something. Everyone has some, I don't know, trait or habit that can make life maybe a little more challenging. But, tools like meditation on twin hearts, character building, inner reflection, journaling, um, yoga nidra, there are countless tools. You can go to the chiropractor, you can have pranic healing, you can go see a coach. And all of these different tools just bring you closer to yourself. They help you to see the construct that you created to feel safer. And they help you to live at your fullest so that you can really shine and let people see the glorious, incredible being that you are. Um, and something that I've really realized in utilizing different tools, I use all kinds of tools. I love my yoga, and I started doing TRE. I do these block exercises. I have all kinds of stuff, and I've always used all kinds of stuff. I love to walk with nature. I mean, there are so many different ways. Sometimes it's just playing and having fun with friends. Um, there are just so many different ways to come back to yourself. And one of the first steps is self-awareness and recognizing when you're outside of yourself, or when you dissociate, or um, when like a defense has come up, or like when you're scared or uncomfortable. And sometimes these happen so unconsciously, and that's okay. Again, I'll reiterate, there's nothing wrong with you. I know that they say diagnosis with, working with doctors and whatnot, but I feel that diagnosis insinuates a problem. And it's not a problem. It's not. It is a beautiful aspect of who you are. And I have this passion for doing it myself and helping others to harness that, because that is a secret piece of your puzzle. That is a gift. That is a part of your power. That is a key to who you really are. And as you harness these tools and you harness the energy that you hold within yourself, you'll find purpose and you will find so much more depth in life and the real beauty of presence in every single day. So that's what a couple pages of reading does by the pool on a beautiful summer day. Uh, I'd love to hear any input if you're wanting to discuss, but as we move forward in this beautiful life, if you want to dig into these and explore, I'd love to work with you and help you to find your light and shine. With that being said, we will close out. If you are driving, do not do this. Pause and you can do this later. But we'll do a quick little, just simple meditation. Just bring your palms to your heart, palms together, fingertips face up. Straighten your back. If you're lying down, sit up. Take a big deep breath in, sigh it out. Take another big deep breath in, filling through the diaphragm. And this time I want you to audibly sigh it out. There we go. One more time. Feel that soothing, that safety, and that calm. You can close your eyes or keep a soft gaze in front of you. And in your mind's eye, just picture a place that you've been or a place you've imagined before that's super beautiful and brings you joy and happiness. And don't get caught up in the details. Just go to that place. It can just be how it feels. It doesn't have to be something that you see. Go to that place that calls to you. Find that calmness. Find that peace. And continue breathing, noticing that the inhales and exhales deepen and elongate. Finding that space of peace, of joy, of wonder. If you find yourself getting distracted, returning to the breath. With your eyes closed, bringing your gaze up to the forehead, tongue to the roof of the mouth. And just let whatever happens happen. Taking this moment to connect with your deepest self. Feeling that safety within. You're safe. You are held. You are loved. Feel that comfort. Slowly bring your gaze back forward. Breathing your breath. Allowing the breath to return to a regular rhythm. Send your attention down to your feet. In the base of your spine. Focusing on your feet in the base of your spine. Feeling the impact of the ground on soles of your feet. Imagining roots of light coming through the feet, through the base of the spine, and going deep down into Mother Earth. Feeling connected and rooted. Feeling strong and stable. Knowing that this is all within yourself and you are fully capable of this on your own. You are always supported. You are always connected. You are safe and you are held. And this power is within you. Slowly begin to open your eyes with a big smile on your face. Thank you for joining me. You are such beautiful beings. Namaste and stay blissfully lit. Peace be with you.